Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, the Other. Today I'm going to be discussing another ad in comic books. It's from this comic book from Little Audrey, a Harvey comic. And this ad is about selling a newspaper called The Grit. This is my last installment on the various advertisements in the back of the comic books. For one thing, it's getting tired of doing them. Another thing, that's the last one I've been able to find. So, here's the ad for The Grit. Right here. Kids could make money and get various prizes, kind of like selling the seeds or the Christmas cards. It's advertised, put yourself in the center of action, earn $2, $5, $10 or more every week of the year, plus free prizes regularly. Sell Grit in a few hours of each spare time each week. Over 30,000 others are now selling. We'll send you Grit right away by mail, along with supplies you'll need, valuable selling tips. You pay only for the copies you sell until you know how many copies to order. You pay nothing in advance, so you don't risk a penny to start. Introduce Grit, America's greatest family weekly publication, to friends, relatives, and neighbors. Collect 20 cents for each copy sold. Pay yourself 7 cents profit immediately, and send Grit 13 cents for each copy, along with an easy-to-fill-out report. Mail this coupon today. It was a Grit Publishing Company from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And you notice they were pushing for kids to get their friends to sell Grit as well. You see the various prizes: the bicycle, the air mattress, the movie camera, football, radio. Just a few, I guess, of many prizes they have. But I guess you could keep the money as well and not opt for prizes. Little background information on the Grit. It's now a bi-monthly newspaper, still in existence. By the 1930s, it was called America's Greatest Family Newspaper, 14 pages plus a fictional section. By 1932, the circulation reached 425,000 people in 48 states. 83% of the people that subscribed lived in populations of less than 10,000 people. It was founded by Dietrich Lamade in 1882, and it's published by Ogden Publishers, Topeka, Kansas. There's a website, grit.com, grit.com. It was one of the first newspapers to print color photographs. The first one was the American flag in 1963. The Lamade family owned Grit for over 100 years, and it was bought out by Advo Systems of Hartford, Connecticut in 1981. 1983, it was bought out by Stauffer Communications of Topeka, Kansas, which owns Capper's Weekly. So I really couldn't get much information as to what was really in the Grit. It had some comic strips in it. It had, I don't know, it was like maybe like a national newspaper for the time. I'm not sure. I've never actually bought an issue of it. Never read an issue, so I really don't know what is on the Grit. But I did look at one story about a couple of boys that decided to go out and try to sell the Grit. They got their newspapers sent off for them. And I think they hit about maybe like 50 houses, and it was during the winter on a cold afternoon. They went from house to house, a lot of no thanks or doors shut in their face. I think they said they sold one Grit newspaper that whole time that they did it, and they decided this isn't gonna work for us. But I guess, like I said, some people are better at selling things than others. Some kids, have that ability to go out and convince people to buy things, and they grow up to be salesmen, and they keep, making their living that way. If you're good at it, that's great. I'm not good at it myself, but it's an interesting thing selling the Grit newspaper. Imagine going from door to door trying to get people to buy that thing, and it's hard to sell something like that if you're running into people that are not interested in reading, aren't going to read it. They're probably not going to buy it. You might be able to get your friends, family to buy some copies just to help you out. But for the most part, strangers are not going to buy it unless they're actually interested in reading the publication. And that's basically what I was able to get on selling the grit. Show you again. And as always, like, subscribe, share. Looking for a partner. As always, thanks for watching.